business. Yesterday around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. that way, my producer, Ashley, Mr. Massive, came to me and said that, oh, Charlie, there is something trending. Some good news is around. Shatta Wale is trending all over the world for being featured on a Beyonce album. I said, oh, how? Shatta hasn't gone anywhere. Where did that feature come from? And he brought some one or two details to me, and I saw them. I said, oh, okay, so this can be a reality. Now, the beginning of that story, maybe Shatta can take us through, because the world wants to know, how did that start? I have read Chris Connie's timeline, where he also talked about the responses from the people and all that. I'm sure today management will make statements on all these areas. But then you, as the artist, take us through the story. How did it start?
Well, so I was home, at about 12:01, and I saw a call from Leslie Fantasy Entertainment, and like a couple of times, and later I saw Chris Connie's call too as well. So I was like, what is wrong? Why is Chris calling me at this time? Because he is very gentle. He doesn't call at night after 6 o'clock. Wapong. So I was like, but why is he calling me at this time? So I was recording, so I said, let me just finish what I'm doing. So at around 1:32, I saw his call again. I saw Leslie's call again. I was like, okay, let me speak to Leslie and hear what he has to say. Because then after I'll call Chris, So I spoke to Leslie, and he was like, the management from, Beyonce, wants to do a song with me, and they're trying to get you to my management here in Ghana, because there is someone who says he represents me in the US, and actually, Leslie, we have a contract with him, so he represents me in the States when it comes to setting, duty. So he spoke to them, and they were like, no, they have to speak to Chris Connie, because one guy from Beyonce's label, knows Chris Connie, so they were like, they also spoke to Chris Connie. I said, yes, Chris is my, PR here, but the team here knows, like, Leslie is the one taking care of things when it comes to the States. So basically, they understood it, and we had to go on a conference call. I spoke to two of her managers. Like, they spoke to me so nicely that they've been monitoring my career and my talent, and they feel they want to put me on the Lion King movie track. And I was like, wow, okay, it's a good opportunity though, but because Beyonce has been somebody that she's an icon actually. Like, when it comes to like worldwide, she's the one of the females that every musician like watches. Beyonce can pass by you right now and you get goosebumps, even though you're a star, so, and it doesn't happen to only African artists, it happens to American artists even. So I was like, it's a good opportunity, let me just listen to what they have for me so I can just work on it. So quickly I called Bulldog. I told Bulldog about it, and Bulldog was like, okay, cool, he would like to come over too, so because he likes to be in the studio, so Chris was
director.
He did Tuno Bulldog, give you come music. So like the way we've been doing Tuno, I started recording the thing. I started sending it to him, and was like, no, I should change it, do it like this, So I had to also inform Chris too about it. That I've started working on the thing. It was like he has started talking to the people for like the past 2 months or something. And they were like, they're going to call him when they are ready. I was like, so why are you also keeping it from me? So, say you there, if we tell you, I say, Chris, sometimes Shatta, me, I can keep secrets. Don't do like that. He said, no, he was trying to get everything done. I was like, okay, cool. So I told him we're working, alongside with Bulldog. I told him we're working, I was making Bulldog listen to the lyrics. So when I do it, I send it to Leslie, I send some to Bulldog, and, we share ideas on it, and the way the song was, it was basically about, a Lion King, so I couldn't go, away from the message. So I was trying hard to create something around who a king is, so I did it, the first one, and we all listened to it, and, as usual, Bulldog and Leslie and Chris, they were like, no, this one is too hard. I was like, hey, this what the devils or something, so I did another one which I hate.
Because you thought the first one was your very best.
Because Charlie, they are ginger too much. Because I say, like, hey, Jay-Z, So I was like, but he told me, we could relax and do it better, So, but I did 2 versions. So when they said it, I said, okay, then we should all listen to this one too. So when we listened to the other one, that's where all of them was like, yeah, they like this. And I was like, Chris, the Go Club. Why you go feel like? He said, no, this is what people can all sing along well, and get the words well. I was like, okay, cool. So we sent it to Leslie, and Leslie was like, we should all pray on it if they accept it, because like it was a whole, miraculous something. I didn't know. It was crazy. So we sent it to Leslie, and Leslie was like, okay, he also likes it since we like it, and Chris and Bulldog has confirmed, so he's gonna send it to them. So actually, he sent it to them. And I was waiting. That was a Friday, so I was waiting, and the next day he called me and was like, boom, like they like the thing. I was like, huh. They like Beyonce listen. So yeah, she came to the studio and they all listened to it, and she was like, she loves it, it's perfect. So, we should send the vocals. So we sent the vocals to them. That was on Saturday. And Saturday, Leslie called back again, was like, they want to speak to me. So I was like, well, maybe I'll go do some mistake again. God, make this thing. So they came and they were like, no, we like the verse, we like everything you did on the song, it's nice. But Beyonce wants you to sing her part in one of the lines that she did. Like, is a hook, a post, a verse. Americans do, they have terms, this, as they said post, I've not even heard post before, but there was post, hook, post, verse, chorus. I was like, so we have post office in music too. So when they sent it to me, I was like, okay, so I should sing the post and the verse, and they were like, yeah, I should do that side and Beyonce sang that part actually. So when they brought it, I was like, okay, cool, let me just sing. So I had to listen to the things that she was saying carefully. They sent me the lyrics, I studied the lyrics, and the first time I heard the song even, I was like, was that Beyonce? Because it was a Lion King movie. I think she was trying to get the message like direct to Africa, so she was sounding so much like an African girl, so I was like, wow. Then I also need to sound like the way she sounded on the song, so I have to actually go through the lyrics well, study it, and sing the way she was singing, like exactly. And we sent it back, and I kept praying. I don't have any malam again, apart from God, because all the malams have lied to me, taking my money. So I was like, okay, I'm praying to God that she would really love this. And so we sent it to them, and they were like, perfect, they like it. So, they're gonna work on it and master it. The next day, that was Sunday, they called again. They were like, oh, the vocals, the way I've sent it, I need to send, because they use Pro Tools, and I use Cubase, so they called and were like, the vocals are shifting. I was like, Jesus Christ, what are these people doing? Let the things. So I was like, no, okay, so I will do it. So I have this engineer in the States. His name is Chameleon. When I go to Jersey, that's where I record. Leslie has a studio, like a big studio there, so he works with him. So I called him. I was like, he should really help me out with this, because these people are using Pro Tools and I'm using Cubase. I think when I send the files to them, they find out how to arrange it on their program. So it was like, no problem. So Chameleon actually worked with it